Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Ken from Nippon Bro. Hope you guys are having another great day. Now today we are doing a continuing series. Sorry, I haven't been doing this and I've been trying to get a lot of videos out, so we will get through this tutorial part. It's just gonna take a little while. I have a lot of things going. Anyways, today is a continuation series for editing photos 101 for beginners, and today we are doing HSL and color. Alright, so before we begin, this is, like I said, a continuation series. If you are new to the channel, consider subscribing because I will be posting these videos for these tutorials as a free course for everyone to take. And it is basically on my YouTube channel, there is a playlist for editing photos 101. You can go there and go through all the videos so you can learn how to use an editing software. This may apply to other softwares, but I am using Lightroom Classic, and it'll also work for Lightroom CC and also Luminance as well. Now that we got that out of the way, we're going to go straight into the editing part, and let's see what HSL actually does to a photo and how much freedom you have with using colors. Alright, so recently I went to an abandoned hotel and they have a lot of graffiti work, as you see here. They have a lot of color in them, and this is a perfect time to actually show you what HSL sliders do and how you can manipulate colors within the photo. Alright, so for example, let's say this photo right here, it hasn't been edited, this is totally raw. And if I happen to, let's say there's like a bit of blue on this top part of the wall here, and there might be some blue hue and magenta hue in this photo. But anyways, let me first explain to you one thing. So this HSL right here, the sliders, you're gonna see this panel. Now, right now you see hue, saturation, luminance. What you can also do is you can go into all, and it's going to show you hue, saturation, and luminance. So depending on how you want to present it on the side there, that's all up to you. I'd rather actually go through one individual so I don't really confuse myself with all that list. That's totally up to you. Again, you can go all and display everything if it's easier for you. So the next thing I want to do is, what is hue, what is saturation, what is luminance? So hue is basically something that is, let's say you have like a blue for this instant. Now you want to change that blue to a different shade of blue. That's when you would change the hue. The hue is basically the gradient level of that certain color. Now for saturation, saturation is how much intensity of that color you want. Do you want it to be really vibrant, or you want to actually take that saturation out and completely take that color out of the photo and make it just black and white? Now for luminance, luminance is the brightness. Again, that's going over exposure and contrast, so if you haven't watched those videos, I'll link it somewhere up here and in the description down below. But basically, luminance is the brightness and darkness level of that certain color. So you have these independent kind of tabs open, and you can actually go through each one and decide how you want that photo to look. Now, for example, when would you actually use this in a time where you want to, let's say, do a client work or for maybe your Instagram feed? The times that you want to actually use this is actually when you want to portray a certain theme throughout a whole set of photos. Let's say for fall, for example, or spring. Now, what are the common colors there? It might be red, it might be orange, yellow, green. So these are colors that you can keep within your photos, and maybe anything that's blue, magenta, cyan. Sorry, totally like mind blank there. But anyways, so you can mute those colors and just have the fall or spring type of colors. So that's of course up to you and how you want to portray your photos. So for example, let's go through this photo right here. You have a blue right here, and let's say I want to actually, I'm just gonna zoom in just a touch here, and I want to change the hue of this blue. Now it might change another part of your photo. Again, if you want to just concentrate on that one area, you want to mask it out, but that's gonna be on a separate video. This is just focusing on the actual colors today, not doing any masking or anything too complicated other than that. So with this blue right here, you're just gonna go into your blues or purples. So let's check out the blue and let's see what this does. So if I go this way, it almost kind of makes it a little bit more green. So that's one thing. If you take that blue away from this one, it kind of makes it a little bit more magenta greenish. Now when you go the other way, you're gonna intensify that blue, and it's gonna get more blue than what it was. Now let's see the before and after here. That's before and after, before and after. So again, that's totally dependable on what you do. So let's say if I set this back to 0, would purple affect anything? So it does affect a little bit. If you look here, let me zoom in a little bit more here. So just look at this bottom right here, there's purple in there. So if you move this, you're gonna see this slight shade change. So if I move that over there and move this more here, so you're gonna get that darker blue, but if you want a little bit more purple showing, then you want to move all those sliders to the side and you're gonna introduce a little bit more purple in there. So again, that's totally up to you how you wanna do it. Now there's other paints over here which has kind of some orange and red to it. That's dependent on the red here. So if I want to kind of intensify that red more towards the brighter red, then you would kind of go this way. And if you want to darken it a little bit, you can go this way. But this is not luminance, by the way, this is hue. This is going to like dark red to kind of brighter red. Now if you want to change, let's say this is like the brightest red you can get with the hue slider. Now going over to luminance, I can go to that red and I can brighten it up even more. Now it's going to start to look a little bit more orange, introduce a little bit more yellow in there. So again, the way you play around with this is totally up to your own freedom, but let me show you another photo here and I'm going to show you a little bit more of what I mean by the greenery. Now this photo has a lot of green in it. Now if I want to take out everything but the green, I can do that with the saturation. So let me go into saturation here. I'm going to keep everything in this photo except for the green. So let me just drop down the yellow, drop down the orange, drop down the red, aqua, blue, purple, and magenta. Now you have just green, okay? Everything else is totally muted. There's some color over here that should have been a little bit more yellow, but now it's totally muted. And then you have the rest of the back, which is green. I can change that green saturation. I can make it more green. So this is gonna just be popping it out more. Now, if I want to add a little bit more yellow to this to bring it even more out, I can, because there is a little bit more yellow foliage in some of these areas. So if you kind of check right here, there's a little bit here, there's a little bit more yellow in here, and parts of these bright areas are yellow. So again, if I go here and turn up the yellow, it's gonna make it more yellow. So again, you can take a look at that. If you want to make it a little bit more natural looking, you can add a little bit more orange, but if you start to do that, whatever's orange in the other parts of the photo are going to start to come out. So you better be careful of that unless you do some masking, okay? So that's another way of doing it. But as far as this today, I am basically showing you how to just do, like if you want to just let one color pop, mute everything else, and that gives it a certain look to a photo. And it may look a little bit interesting. So again, that is something that you can do. You can also do this in Photoshop with a bit more precision work. So if you want your model to be in color, but you want the entire background of that portrait photo to be black and white, you can do that in Photoshop as well. All right, so here's another photo here that I wanted to show you guys. This is a sunset photo. Now, of course, this is completely raw. It doesn't have any white balance or anything done to it. So it looks a little bit pale yellow, but if I want to bring out the actual orange in this, I'm just going to actually go here to the saturation, bring out the orange a little bit, bring out the yellow as well. And then I might actually dim down the luminance of that yellow. And then when I go to the hue, I'm just gonna turn the hue, let's say I want to make it a bit more darker. It's starting to turn a little bit weird on color with me, so I might turn the yellow down to the other side and mute it on the saturation, and then maybe go a little bit more mute on the luminance for the orange, so you kind of get this look. And you know, that is a look by itself. Of course, you can do other things to it, but today, of course, HSL only, and that's something that you can get with just adjusting the sliders on HSL in color. But anyways, I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, smash that like button and turn on those notifications for future videos for anything to do with tutorials, with photography and videography, cinematography. And also, if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe because it does help me out a lot. And otherwise, I will see you guys on the next one, and keep taking photos and try editing. It is a little bit scary to do, but if you go through my beginner's course, then you would probably be fine. I hope. If not, comment down below and I'll try to help you out more, okay? But anyways, I'll see you guys on the next one. Take it easy. Peace. H8 is recording and camera is recording at 56. Yada. Good to go. 3, 2, 1, action.